what's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Ah, man, it's competition season. I've never had this many people competing under my wing as a coach. They're doing all the work. I'm just writing the shit. I'm looking at pictures. I'm not doing anything. They're doing all the work. Any coach who says, I did this, I did that, fuck that. It's about them. It's about the clients. And so, with that said, I thought I'd put together a little compilation. Took some time. You guys know I have a max of 20 minutes a day I spend on YouTube. Be it preparation, editing, whatever. 20 minutes usually. I'll go high for certain things, but I made a special exception and I prepped. I have a post-it note with exactly what I need to make this special. Number one, this is the top 5 competition mistakes. Top 5 mistakes you make when competing. Drum roll. Number 5. Over dancing. Some people get on stage and forget that you're supposed to flex. They get on stage, they're doing their routine, like, They never actually go, boom, boom. They never actually hit the fucking shots, man. Gotta hit the shots. As a judge, nothing fucking drives me mad, more insane, than when somebody who with a good physique goes up there and thinks they're fucking Rick James. All right, you're not fucking Rick James. Get on stage and fucking hit your shots. Now, during your posing routine, even then, hit some shots. Because at the ANBF, remember I'm VP of the ANBF, the American Natural Bodybuilding Federation, and I also head judge a lot of those shows. We judge your posing routines. Make it poetic, make it flow, make it fucking dance, man. I'm all about dancing, man. I get up there, I shake my white ass. I shake it like a salt shaker. But at the end of the fucking day, we need to see you hit some shots. Drum roll, please. Okay. Number 4. Not shaving. I risked this gentleman. He's a great competitor. Great competitor. Phenomenal athlete. Last year at a show, we all went there. It was a group of guys. And we were sitting in the audience. And he got second. I personally, at the time, thought he should have won. But again, judging table, you're looking up. Okay? Whereas in the crowd, you're not seeing all the details. One of the details that made him lose was the fact that his legs were hairy. He literally didn't shave his fucking legs. All that work, the prep and all that. And I was at one show judging. This motherfucker had an afro coming out of his fucking tights, man. I mean, a fucking, like a bush. You could see his fucking pubes. Shave those fucking unmentionable areas. Shave everywhere, man. I haven't had hair on my balls in like 3 years. All right? Don't leave any of that to chance, okay? Shave. It's the least you can do. You put all this hard effort into dieting and training, into, you know, not having a sex drive and your wife having to masturbate and break out the pocket rocket and the fucking home wrecker and also the suctiony BBC that you put on the table. That's something that you want to avoid. So be sure to shave. Drum roll, please. Number 3. Too fucking white. And I'm speaking for you brothers too. All the black guys that I know that compete at a high level, Chad Austin, all those guys, they put Dream Tan on. They tan. Why? Can never be too dark on stage. No, I think there are some guys who I think it can detract, but you can't do anything about it if it's your pigment or you're so dark. But I mean, look at someone like me. I should put on, if you're doing the Pro Tan route, which I highly recommend against, Pro Tan sucks. It makes you turn this orangey weird color. It works with some skin types. Most people, it just looks like shit. I prefer Dream Tan number 2. I put a coat on before sleep in it, let the clothes, it'll get in your pores a little. Right before stage, don't put any clothes on after put on. Tap that fucking Dream Tan on. That's one method. The next method is your spray tanner. Now, there are some good spray tanners. Some of them suck. The one, I'm not going to mention names, but let's say a couple of my past shows, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Now, the girl, I forgot, is it Heidi? Liquid Sun Rays. But the ones who, they have different franchisees who do Liquid Sun Rays. Now, I think her name's Heidi up in Indiana. If you're doing one of Jessie Dale's shows, man, she sets it up proper, man. I mean, best color I've ever had other than Dream Tan was by Liquid Sun Rays. I believe her name's Heidi. I'm not sure. But I will be guest posing there at the end of this year, and she will see me naked once again. The problem is your balls can look great. Here's the thing about tanning is that once that cold, you'll be like, yeah, I'm looking good, man. I'm nice and warm. Balls are hanging, everything. That cold spray hits your balls, sinks right up. I'm not one of those to wear a sock, okay? I want to make sure that my entire body's dark. What if my penis falls out? You don't want like a big white penis. Big. You don't want a penis falling out. I mean, at least it's going to match my body, right? So I tan everything. All right, ladies. Funny thing is, when you make it darker, it grows automatically. I don't know how that works. Number 2, drum roll. Shit. Cutting water. Oh, did I just say cutting water's a mistake? All the fucking bro diuretic gurus on their Diazide, their Aldactone, their Lasix. Here's the deal. If you're already lean, you should be dry. All I have my clients do is cut their water around 8 p.m. the night before the show and switch to sips. Now, I'm not saying cut your water. I don't want you ever cutting water. Instead of when you're thirsty, a couple sips. Not look bad. Screw that. I love having a screwdriver here. So here's the deal, guys. If you are in shape and you've dieted long enough, there's no fucking need to cut water. I will show you my competition pics a week before, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before. I was more dry than an 80-year-old's vagina, man. I was fucking bone dry. And guess what? My clients, they're dry too. Why? Because we fucking diet. What cutting water is for is those people who didn't lose enough fat and they need to have that illusion. But think about it. Where do you store water? Your subcutaneous fat. A lot, right? If you have very little to no subcutaneous fat, where's the next place for water to come from? Ready? Come on, come on. Raise your hands, raise your hands. Your fucking muscles. You're going to look flat, you're going to look stringy, and you're going to lose. And you're fucking damaging your kidneys. Jesus, Christopher Columbus. That is a perfect segue, everybody. Up, pop, pop, lock, robot. Fuck! Number 1. Competition mistake. Being too fucking fat. I said it. These motherfuckers come on stage and they just didn't put in the work. If you're feeling good the day of the show, you need to eat a little bit less. When you think you're lean enough, get leaner. Man, and especially, think about it this way. If you diet hard enough, your glutes should be in. Unfortunately, when Rich Gaspari won the Arnold that year, the glutes became the new norm. So you can't go on stage with a fat ass anymore. And let's be real here. Natural bodybuilding, if you're the same age and been training for the same amount of time, other than genetic factors, you're going to be about the same size. I mean, there's no Marcus rules in natural bodybuilding. You'll get a couple anomalies. Doug Miller, if he shows up, you're in second, all right? The one thing that differentiates people, your Marshall Johnsons, your Ricos, differentiates them. Conditioning. They get shredded to the point that you could fucking grate cheese on their asses. That's what separates you. And guess what? When you get to that, even in the IFBB and stuff, you look at who brings conditioning, you look at that dry, nasty, fucking Branch Warren conditioning, someone who's not blessed with the greatest structure or the greatest genetic structure build for bodybuilding, and he wins the Arnold, and he places at the Olympia. Granted, his placing has gone down lately, but I also don't think his conditioning's been where it's at. You bring that nasty, hard, granite-like conditioning done by weeks and weeks and weeks, whether natural or not natural, of dieting, cardio, and training your ass off. That's what wins shows. I'll tell you what, you go to an ANBF show, if someone has shredded glutes, they're in the top 2 or 3. Go to OCB show, someone has shredded glutes, they're in the top 2 or 3. You know what? That's what it takes. So the number 1 mistake for competing is not dieting long/hard enough and being too fucking fat. Now, I risk sounding like I'm pandering a service, but I will say this. At every show I've gone to in the past 2 years, other than maybe one, the winners were either coached by 3DMJ, Lane Norton, myself, my partner John, and one show was won by a client of Kurt Widener, who's the nastiest, driest freak on a WNBF stage. So I'll tell you this. It is what it is. People who have good coaches normally bring some good fucking conditioning. There's a lot of shitty coaches out there. And especially these Midwest shows, I see all these little fucking team this, team that, fuck your team. Bottom line is their conditioning is shitty. And that's why every time I go to those shows, my clients just whoop the shit out of those guys. Because we bring conditioning. I don't care what the judging panel is, unless it's a bought-off judging panel, which is more NPC than it is OCB or AMBF. Our judging panel, trust me, we're fair as fuck. And being that I'm on a lot of OCB judging panels, they're fair too. So the bottom line is, bring conditioning. Don't be a fat fuck. Bring. You can't control your genetic structure. You can't control your muscle bellies. You can't control sometimes how big your muscles can get. What you can't control is how freaky shredded you can get. Because I'll tell you what, unless you have a thyroid disorder, which is then a medical issue, unless you have a medical issue, you can get fucking shredded. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, the top 5 mistakes in competitive physique. Fucking not knowing what the fuck my video is called. It's not a game. Boom!